for someone who used to be my friend. Forgive me, God, for every time I disrespected you, have not reflected you, have not protected you, have not projected you. Forgive me, God, for all the times I never thought of you. I clever thought myself so many times when only you knew how I felt, neglected you. I know now what is truly true, most precious in the sight of you, so many times denied the truth. I know now what is truly mine for me to do. That's to uphold the truth, the living proof of Christ in who? In me. Is Christ in you, who sent by you, to see to it I knew the truth. So many times rejected you, neglected too, as I've just said, endeavored fool to question you. Who's wise beyond belief indeed, too many times a message through you couldn't get in light of how I tempted you to question who? Me, tested you, whose message true rings echoes on forever fruit. To bear for intuition knew, just as I said and thought I knew. Was wrong the way I talked to you, wrong even how I thought of you. As someone I could bless and bloom, I blossomed by the light of moon. I never meant to lie to you. I tried too soon to try to do what was not in your will for me. And still you see, in time I grew to realize what nobody knew but I and you, both tried and true. Your words ring out like sirens, soothe me, knowing though you mindful moved to tears that fall from skies of blue. They're drenching me as dry I soon would warm my bones by fires fueled, desires doomed, inspired spoofs. A liar's truth, the mire mute, divider of the nights in tune. With sight I sense insightful few who realize like I do that you, behind it all, the blinded by the light aloof. At times the signs turn blinded to the eyes that thought minds wisely wooed by what in time would prove to be the same that pride so wild amused to prey on you. Amused by what we take such interest in, the minds we lose, too mighty to, in our own eyes be rightful ruse to rival you who's vital to. Survival suited, rifled through the rhymes you write, upright you swoop in on the wind that timely blew, reminding me and mine keep you. Who chimes in with the sighting, soothes much more my soul to sign for you. On dotted lines primed, print fine and fumed, with feisty flight took high too soon. To see what we might bump into, the Bible's cracked in time, who knew? That you would be so righteous, room inside of you. For I, who truly tries too much to hide from you, desires me to fire crews of underlings who try to move beyond in sand the lines I drew. I dry as bone, wait nightly new, for far too long to silence soon. Brought by your words, each tried and true, just as I knew that so are you. Who high and mighty, some might say, comes riding in on horse high noon. Takes 10, then paces, turns and fires, frying fools, denying you. In all my life of all I've known, or all I've ever hoped I knew. Though often thought I did, I don't. Not much it comes to tying you down, dying, if not for my true love, Christ in me, to cry I stoop. Now stifled by the strife I knew, the minds of mice and men, my muse writes chapters on what chimes and chews me right up, spits me out amused. Spits me spiteful, mused with how I am so quick, too quick to jump to my conclusions, moved by liars with their briars, brooms to ride in on, sweep swiping you. They swindle with a white face smiling, wide to woo the whiny womb for demons who can't even seem to hold a flaming candle to. The man I am, if am in you, defending me, you stand assume positions I once held. In loops, my memories play tricks, pining, poof. You're gone again if I renewed, won't try to do what I should do, my life to lose if I am moved, not by your lines. You write, leave room for me to add then, mine to them. The kind too high, like vines that grew, I watch them from my dining room, through glass that shatters shining through. The light that shines so brightly brutal, blue leaves crying feuds. With life lived true behind, too true to stay where it might be stifled, stooped too long to lift me high. Who knew that I would find in time my new leaf turned in life to liken to the dicey roll of dimes to doom. When dropped the droopy driving room too wide to bridge the gap regroup between me and you, me and who once was my friend. Between you and I, no secret kept on my end, all my mind's been you. Who angry guessed with me and mine if ever was another who stood here with you to strike them troops. Imagined I might have, I knew. Deep down if I denying you would try to find my life and moves might make against the kind to know what I now know. I never knew. The type too soon to find the truth and lies to tell I might to you. You hurt me, over time it grew, the pain of being close to you. Prized by you. The pain of being prized by you. You hurt me over time, it grew. The pain of being prized by you, who never told me everything. And yet you threaten strikes amused. You aren't with me this time, who knew the veil so thin might see right through. To find you so unlike the movies, men of might who ripe to rule and reign with fists of iron fused with fighting styles to drive it. Do you deep into the Christ bride's womb, the spike that might deny him due? Time telling all reveals to me that you and mine might like a few. To stay remain, but I now move away from you, who this time stoops not so to reach me. Right makes rules for breaking, say instead might move to tears be by my thoughts of you. No longer all so wholesome soothes, though still my soul just knowing you. Who just for once I thought amused might rival me, tears crying moved to tears that weren't convicting of my sin. I grew resistant of your righteous rule, as tedious as tyrants cruel, meticulous and mindful musing might own me like I own you. I might own you, but you just won't reign. But you just want to reign as high above me as you likely do, not low enough on totem poles. I guess I've stooped too far from you. Too far for you to think of me as I do you, or did until you tried me true. I've earned it, burned eternal in the furnace, where the fires fume. At least I know I'm not like you, denying who is mindful of you. Much more so than souls I've known. I've always made some time for you, who still I hope would find the truth in lines I write, reminding you that I am not for one to own. No, not even you. So mighty moving ocean waves by light of moon, through forest thick seek finding you. With anyone who isn't me, or so it seems you sign them soon, and make me wait a while amused to know that I've been tried, proved true, if not denied, to strike with fume and fiery passion, fury, fruit, to bear no more for vines that grew too high for you to like them soon, though I would learn in life to lose my sense of why my mind amused, no more by scriptures snipe them snoot, too ripe with roots to rise by through, in hands that clamp and climb again, a lovely bride, the wife of you. In hands that clamp, rise by them through, in hands that clamp and climb again, as high as I might, rivaling you, as as high as I might to rival you, as high as might to rival you, and why I guess sometimes I'm too desiring of what I am doomed, to be without for times who knew would trickle down the mount I've knew, much closer than the sight of you who might say tries to hide like I, too quick to place yourself so high on list, not yet to sight, but soon, you'll tack me on the ass and shoot. I'm sure after what I've went through, you won't forget to find me fruitful of some kind worth citing. Soothes your soul would seem to know I knew at least enough to nigh by you, come ripe with the reply to swoon, the swaddling wrapped up smiling smooch that labored to deliver you, untimely the demise, it's true, of dreams too deep for diving to the bottom of neat skies of blue, the steep and prideful prying eyes at wildly signs you'd likely lose your mind to show my eyes that cried too many times for I and you. Deep down I knew in time might prove you lied as I have lied to you, but not since I was childish choosy, trying hard to hide my sense of why you might just like me to. Recite to you the rhyming rude, at times seems I reply to you, and you don't like what I might cite, the days and times of trying too much for me. Without you behind me, either side you cited you would go before, for all my life I never left behind be loose. To wander wild the wilderness of sacred most desire to, as you've inspired me most times inspire you, if might I'd like to. Maybe you designed me to, divinely due in time to prove, well worthy of the nights you moved, not sleeping, sensing that I knew a bit more than gave credit for, when came to how I might renew, not only I but also you, when came to your desires, deuces. Long goodbyes cut short my musings might be, and I don't blame you. Dismissing me, your interest piqued by these who aren't so whiny, mules, who push for you the product sat on shelves for eons, price that prove such otherwise, that what I too soon not know, only thought I knew. Only thought I knew. Is my cause lost on you? Was I who put the cross on you? Wasn't I who paid the cost for you? Do what you have called me to. If nothing else, to cite the truth. The truth is, I am trying. Wouldn't say I'm trying to, but I am trying. And I try for you. Still bloom tonight by light of moon. for someone who used to be my friend.